this is Sharon with Entelechy Visions, and this is an energy update for the week of November 2nd through November 8th. So we have a power-packed month ahead of us. We have a lot going on in this coming month, and we are riding off of the tail of a really, really potent, big breakthrough full moon, which is a rare occurrence. It was a blue moon, so it was the second full moon in the month of October, and it was further amplifying that quality of purging, of releasing, a reset, something that really needed to move, to shift. And it also had an intensity to it. It had a quality of maybe some shocking news or something really unexpected or surprising that arrived to kind of shake things up and release some of the stagnation or stuckness that maybe we've been feeling in one or many areas of life. So some closure may have happened because full moons are about completion. They're about a culmination of something. So some kind of closure or maybe some new information arose around that time or is even still arriving into your life because we're still under the influence of that as this week begins. So maybe a solution emerged or some clarity around something to really bring a flavor into your life of how to move forward in the month of November. So we will find that we are under the influence of a lot of amped, potent energy starting this week. I know there is the influence and quality of the election season that's happening this week, and also a flavor of the collective of just waiting for all of that to take place. It's almost like a giant in-breath has happened collectively. That it's not just our country in the US that is waiting to hear about this, but the entire world, as we're all connected and they're all kind of zeroing in on what's going to take place for us. So if you're feeling off, if you're feeling anxious as this week begins and you're kind of wondering how things are going to play out, or even how to find that kind of still point and come back to yourself and live your life regularly, it's completely normal to feel that kind of underlying anxious quality and also maybe irritation, because there is a lot of impatience that's part of that as well. So just go gentle on yourself this week. There may be a lot that gets kicked up surrounding this election. A lot of the kind of fray in the outer world and information, opinions will all kind of get kicked up another notch. So just kind of tend to your own mind space and your own self-care of what you need and what you're tuning into and how much you are taking in with all of that. Because it's very easy at this time to get swept up in all of that and to kind of lose your sense of center and groundedness in it. So with this week, we are still in these retrograde themes. However, the Mercury Retrograde that we've been in is starting to move direct right on election day, which is pretty ironic. However, it does hold a potency kind of right at the beginning of when it goes retrograde earlier on in October, and then right at the end it holds more of a potency. So you may find that the themes that have emerged for you and for the collective throughout the entire month of October surrounding this retrograde emerge with kind of a more intense flavor to them. So if you're noticing that a lot kind of starts bubbling up in your life, it's so that clarity can be gained around those themes, around those lessons that you have moved throughout the entire month of October. And a lot of the themes that we have moved through have been focusing upon relationships, have been focusing upon balance and self-care. Because balance in relationship doesn't necessarily have to mean with another person. It can mean the relationship with yourself as well. So it could have been something that needed to be reset with your own time and energy and how you're spending your energy. Maybe something is draining you, or maybe something needs to be revisited, or something health-wise that needed to be looked at. So all of these themes really could have emerged over the course of October. And as we begin this new month, they may kind of rise up now so that we can find that solution from the pieces that were revealed to us with that full moon that just happened. So we're also reassessing all the different connections in our life right now. So as we have moved through the relationship season, we're now more deeper into the season of alchemy, of transforming, and also integrating all of those emotions that may have bubbled up around those connections. So we're reassessing all of those connections in our life that have kind of come up to be looked at as a spotlight, and to address for ourselves maybe how we have changed and what we need from those connections now. What we need moving forward that may be quite different. Something may have shifted because you have changed into something different over the course of this entire year. So it's good to really reassess your energy and how you are giving that out and who you are giving that out to, or maybe what you are giving that out to as well. Uncertainty and indecision may still be something that we do have to work through at this time. And I know that you might be kind of impatient at this point and really wanting more answers, wanting more clarity, wanting to just kind of get on with the show because we've been in such a slow moving energy. It's been a very slow moving year, even though a lot has been happening as well. It has felt very kind of difficult to get the gears going, get projects off the ground, get things to really click and move forward. However, an old way is really leaving our lives right now. An old way is kind of receding from the world. So we are in this kind of limbo state where a new way is trying to integrate, a new way is trying to move in. And it's seeping into our lives while this old way is releasing. And so they're kind of happening at the same time. So things haven't necessarily clicked just yet. And that is why it may feel like clarity hasn't really happened, or things aren't quite moving forward yet with projects, with some kind of momentum in your life. Because things are being completely transformed. Things are completely being shifted on many, many levels. So continuing to have that patience if things aren't looking exactly how you want them to be, or if they're not moving forward in the way that you want them to. To know that once Mercury moves direct on the 3rd, it will build a little bit more of that momentum in our lives. It may have a quality to kind of shake things up a little bit with the election results and how that all kind of plays out. So that's an influence that may shift things in the coming week with that. However, as the momentum begins to build, you'll notice that kind of come mid-November, that things feel a little bit more full of ease with the pace. Even if things are still a little bit rocky energy-wise or scattering-wise due to the information that we'll be receiving with the elections and all of that and how that will play out, we'll find that the energy shifts to a more direct kind of forward motion come around that second to third week of November of this month. So as it picks up pace, it can also kind of dredge up a lot of that suppressed irritation and pent up emotion that Mars retrograde has kind of pushed down. So we have the Mercury going direct, and then we have Mars going direct mid-month. And Mars may dredge up a lot of that kind of irritation collectively. So we may notice that the warrior planet kind of brings out some of the things that were suppressed that now really want to be expressed. And it has Mercury on its side of being able to communicate all of that, to be able to reveal that and have a little bit more clarity on what all of that means personally and on a collective level. So as this update comes out, there definitely could be a lot of shifts that take place, that these themes can change as everything is changing pretty rapidly on a day-to-day basis. However, this quality that we're moving through with these energetic influences is also going to fuel a lot of our creativity. It's going to fuel a lot of what may have felt very stagnant for you, what may have felt like it was unmoving in your life, and provide a little bit more sense of relief on that side. So if you felt like you just couldn't get things done, things weren't shifting, your creative self wasn't being expressed, or things just felt like you were just stuck in concrete in many, many ways, this quality will really support that part. So that's an upside of this. We're also entering eclipse season with this month. So even though we have the eclipse at the end of the month of November, we already start to feel that energy seep in. So we can feel eclipses a couple months prior and about 6 months following as well. So this eclipse happens at the end of November and will be a lunar eclipse, and that's all about a release. It's about shifting or shaking up something in our lives, which is kind of like a cosmic wild card. Eclipses hold that quality where they change things for us, but it's ultimately to really set us on the right path. It's to kind of reset us on a right track so that we're heading in the right direction. So you may feel a lot of this throughout November, and then we have the second pair of the eclipse in December, which is an even more mega month. So we're kind of in this crescendo, or this upswing up a mountain towards the end of this year with the quality of energy. So it's kind of like a hold on to your hats kind of ride, but to know that we are always supported through this, and we're never given anything that we can't handle. So I want to share with you the channeled message for this week to offer a level of strength and hope for this week and this time, to know that whatever happens is part of a changing world. It's part of what needs to happen, whatever that decision is, whatever side you're on, it does not matter, that the higher purpose of whatever occurs is part of the big plan. So keep that in mind with however the next several weeks pan out. Remember the dynamics that you can bring to your closest circles at this time. A space of comfort and ease, an ear to listen, or a shoulder to lay your head upon. These times are wrought with an acceleration that will unearth much of the shadowy depths of suppressed blockages and energies within many. Hold strong to your truth, be a light, and when you need your own flame reignited, turn to the ties that are comforting and well received. You will find solidarity from communion. And if you are feeling alone, compassion is an underlying imprint that lies in the hearts of many who follow the light. Turn toward that. All is temporary, passing, and a lesson to be integrated. So I leave you with that message for the week. I invite you to like and subscribe to this channel, as it does help to support the channel. If you do need additional support at this time, you can learn more about my services at entelekivisions.com. I hope that you have a wonderful week ahead. Stay strong, stay in the light as mentioned, and we've got this. Thank you for listening and have a wonderful week.